up the tempo. Shawty got no choice but to get low. Ain't the tallest, but I'm ballin' like I'm 6'4". Yeah, the life I live, I was meant for. It's simple, if we up the tempo. Shawty got no choice but to get low. Ain't the tallest, but I'm ballin' like I'm 6'4".
Old school, new school. You know what it is. You know who it is.
OG Lee in the house. Once again.
Once again.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Hey, it's old school, new school, man.
And thank goodness.
Thank goodness again.
Hey, free P. Diddy. Free P. Diddy.
Chill out. I don't condone that one. But it's old school, new school, bro. It's the best father-son podcast in America, bro.
I heard somebody was doing one over here in Antarctica.
In
a father and son podcast out of Antarctica. So
they got to show their face.
Yeah.
Show their face when the sun outside down there one time, man.
I got a fresh one going on tonight, man. Let's have a toast.
Come on, man.
Booyah. Yeah, it's nighttime out here.
Best out here doing it, man. And, this is episode.
Oh my God.
40.
Yeah. Hey,
episode 40.
You gotta tell your schoolies if they're gonna say 40, you gotta know, you gotta be able to roll those R's. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. 40. There you go.
40.
You wanna sound like a beaner, bro. 40. You gotta do that.
40.
Yes,
but hey,
man.
Episode 40, man. We've been out here doing this for a little minute, seem like now.
It's like when you were 40 years old, man.
Back when I was
in
my
the day.
40s.
Damn.
Oh, man. Those were some good times in my 40s.
Yes, man. You were just a little. Now, you was more than a sperm cell at that point. Yeah.
Come on, what were you doing in your 40s, man?
Man, I don't even remember.
Give me a blueprint.
I don't even remember. All I remember was I was just doing like the Bee Gees, staying alive.
Staying alive.
Yeah, man.
Man, how do you feel like? Because I think of that songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
When these people were in the studio, what do you think they knew they had a hit?
I think they knew that some people were gonna be following it for sure because they were grooving to it, and really that's all that mattered. They figure if you know, once you get a following, see what I'm saying? Especially like if it's
with it,
Bee Gees or something like that, people were grooving with their music, right? Just waiting for the next one to come out. So yeah.
Cause that right there, I'm thinking them in studio. Where do they look? It's multiple people on a mic.
And they all started out, the Bee Gees, they were Gibbs, I think was the last name. They were brothers. So they probably had a lot of time doing the shit in the basement and
some chemistry,
shower and all of that shit, you know? Mm. Yes, indeed, man. But yo, they leaving here. They leaving here, man.
Who's that?
John Amos, man.
Oh,
good times guy.
There were some
good times guy, man. I think I don't know how long that series ran. Good Times, because he did some other stuff with Roots, and he did some other stuff. But my main role, I always remember that episode because back then to say "damn" on TV was really man. So that was like she was upset, like oh my goodness. They wrote James out of the series, man. But I think it ran for about 4 or 5, seems like something like that.
Definitely a series I would just know.
Oh my goodness,
just from its nostalgia.
It's running probably in syndication on a bunch of channels.
For sure.
Damn,
like Nick at Night.
Damn. But he had to go. I think he was 84 maybe, so he had to eventually go. But he left a legacy, man.
84,
and a lot of people's hearts, man, remember him. Yeah, as being that stern father who he stood 10 toes down, man.
Television
he stood on what he believed. Yeah, he stood 10 toes down, man.
Had to know him, man. It's RIPs. RIPs are about, man.
Oh my goodness.
Old school, you got. I mean,
it's just so, you know, it's not sad because again he came and did what his purpose was. Mm-hmm. It's just that that means shit. I might be getting closer. You know what I'm saying?
Chill out, man. Chill out.
I'm gonna give myself at least 25 more years, but still, every day you're still getting closer. Even if you're a young person, you know what I'm saying? Every day you're getting closer.
That is life.
So yeah, you're just grabbing on everybody around you that you love, man, and you know, showing them love. till that day comes.
Oh, look at my
But,
A Green
man.
behind the scene with the real shout outs, man.
Yes, man, yes. And this was Flora, of course. She had already passed, man, but this right here, you really look forward to seeing because it used to come on when it first started once a week. You know what I'm saying? And so when it came on, man, you was just sitting in front of the table. In front of the TV, just
Glued to it,
man.
unsaturated television, man. What
And
was
then, of
coming
course,
on after this?
They had,
what came on after, bro? Come on.
I think it was a white show, Maud, I think it was, or something like that.
Maud,
yeah,
M-A-U-D.
Yeah, the girl, the lady who was on the Golden Girls.
Which one?
She was I don't know which one because I don't watch the Golden Girls that much. But Maud, she was the kind of taller one. Her mother, she was always saying "mom" to the little older one, who actually was the younger of all of them. She was always saying "mom." Sure. But her real name is Beatrice Arthur. Maud, though, she played first.
It was a solo show.
Well, her and then her husband, like
they
that.
had a little
But
support.
And then that used to come on after or whatever. And then you used to just get up and go do something else or whatever. But we used to watch Good Times.
Good Times would get that play.
And then you had Thelma. Every dude probably that night probably went under his bed sheets. You know what I'm saying?
Rubbed one out
and
the old school way.
Yeah. But very interesting show.
Mental
man.
spank bank.
It was definitely a good show, and everybody loved it. And given that there wasn't that much to watch at that time, especially, it was definitely a hit show.
Coming through with that heat.
Yeah.
How often do they drop them?
Once a week. Used to see it. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you waiting around for that next one.
Once a week.
Ooh. And what day? What day was it? Wednesday. I feel like
it was like a Tuesday, or it was a day during the week though.
Yeah,
probably. I think probably like a Tuesday.
I'm sitting there. I'm really sitting there with you. I'm feeling it, bro.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it.
It was a time when most people didn't even have color TV necessarily. So it was going back, brother. Going back. And then you had the fat guy Bookman or whatever. I don't know if have you ever watched the full episode of
I have watched a Good Time, but I can't start calling out.
Yeah, he was the super. He was the guy who was the maintenance guy in the building, in the projects. That they always claimed never did no
intro,
work.
Good Time.
And always wanted to eat at their house.
Good Time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you had another star that came up. See, all of those people too, they went on to be bigger. Mm-hmm. Jeanette Dubois, she actually made that Good Times
intro?
The record. And she was also Willona. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we can't be
everybody loved her. She was fine like Thelma.
But she sang the intro and she was in the show?
She created the intro,
and then fire.
It was the intro of the series.
We can't be too morbid, but I got another RIP that hits close to
man.
To my dogs, bro.
Tell me about it, man.
Mr.
Dikembe
Mutombo. We had a little conversation off cam, but
at first,
was this one of the earliest household celebrations?
I don't know if it was one of the first, but it was one that stuck. As definitely you can see, till his dying day, it stuck with him.
Early one. Shout out to the game.
That was his trademark, and I first remember him, man, when he came on, and he was a player playing for Georgetown, and that was when they had John Thompson as the coach.
Dang, what year is this? His 80s?
Yeah, and he might have followed either a year after Patrick Ewing.
Oh dang!
I mean, a class after maybe. Patrick
so they played it. He got him a little.
I don't know, because then Alonzo Mourning came. John Thompson used to have monsters coming through there. Alonzo Mourning was a Georgetown guy.
Those are multiple years.
Yeah, just year after year. Alonzo Mourning was a Georgetown center.
Patrick
Ewing. It's quite a bit of them that came through here, man. But
modern day
was one who
he had another modern day big
man. But he to me he wasn't I don't know, I wouldn't say he was like, I wouldn't put him in the A-list, you know what I'm saying? But he was a good solid player.
Dikembe?
And his whole
idea of
A-list
rim protection.
That was like, hey, don't come in here with that.
Come on, A-list rim protection, bro. Put some respect.
I mean, there's some people who's done it better. Because to me, he wasn't really, his feet wasn't that agile. But he was a good player nonetheless. Take nothing away from him. Rest in peace. And more than that, I think that Dikembe Mutombo was somebody who took his wealth back, like to maybe where he was from, and did a lot, within his village and within his country or whatever.
Oh, no, he's got a monument for sure where he's from.
Yeah. And,
a monument or two.
Rest in peace to him, man. They leave. They said they die in threes, man. Did you ever hear that? They said
death comes in threes. Death comes in threes.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard that.
So those are two of them, and then there was another one. If you remember, this guy they called Charlie Hustle. Pete Rose, and this guy would do whatever it took to win, man. I had a guy who I grew up around that he loved Pete Rose, and he played with that same tenacity as Pete Rose, man. And I tell you, Pete Rose, you could see him sliding head first, just whatever he had to do, man.
Action shot like
whatever he had to do, man. Pete Rose was the man. And it didn't matter if you were black, white, red, or brown. You just looked at the way this man played ball, and you wanted to be like him. He was also a hell of a defender. He was a third baseman.
I was about to say, well, he was just all around fire. What did he do best? Like
he was a solid player on defense as a third baseman, and a solid hitter. A guy who, hey, when he got up, you had to respect him.
He was a try hard though.
Yeah,
and respected try hard.
Oh yeah, he led the team with that kind of that grit. Later on in life. He after he retired and everything, you might have heard the scandal. He got caught. I think it was when he was a coach. Even he got caught betting on the game.
You tarnishing him a bit. I didn't hear.
This is why he's not in the Hall of Fame. Otherwise, everybody knows Pete Rose is a definite Hall of Famer. He played with Johnny Bench. He played with Joe Morgan. Who's some of the other guys? Tony Perez. All of those guys, Cincinnati Reds, man.
Throwback GOAT.
And he definitely would be in the Hall of Fame because those aforementioned dudes, they're in the Hall of Fame, and they were his teammates. So Johnny Bench, any of them would tell you, outside of this guy, not betting. And it wasn't that he bet on his team even, you know what I'm saying?
Just betting in general?
I think he just bet on teams that weren't even playing at the time, as far as playing against him or whatever, so that he could scheme one way or the other. He was just betting. And at least that's how far I've heard it. So just the betting and being in the game.
Got Petey boy.
Yeah, and so that he never did make the Hall of Fame during his life, man. And that's a shame because the way he played baseball, in terms of baseball.
Put his heart into it.
Out of the politics, here's a guy who, man, every kid looked up to Pete Rose, man. Every kid.
What's the Pete Rose swing looking like? What's his stance?
Man, I don't remember his stance and shit like that. But I do remember he would bunt. Whatever it took for him to win, man, he was a good guy. Yeah, and the main thing I remember, and I wish, I say this every time, I used to have these dudes' baseball cards, man.
Rookie cards?
Maybe the rookies, but certainly when they were playing. That's why I know a lot of the players, man, because we used to play these baseball cards, and then the dudes that I grew up with, everybody damn near somehow lost their collection. Man, we would have all been millionaires just on our collections alone.
How do you play baseball cards again? Come on, give me a little insight.
First thing is you're trying to collect all the teams and all the players. So to do that, you play against other people because they got some of the players you want and blah, blah, blah. And then when you're trying to just grow them in general, you hope you get you some money. You would go to the store and buy a pack, and they would come with a stick of this hard bubble gum. It was like it had paste damn near not paste, but flour damn near on the back of it.
Yeah.
But so you go play, right? And each team.
But you playing, it's not like they're running bases and stuff. It's
no. You're just collecting cards. You would play cards. So each team was a color, and then you would call like whatever pot, you might call a 2-pot. So you keep doing them, and whoever matches cards, that'd be the first match. Whoever would match twice, basically, take all the cards, and you do it up to whatever pot you want to do it, And at the end of the day, if you won, of course, now you got some of the valuable cards, and then you go and you take your cards and you put them with your first, and all your doubles is what you play with. You know what I'm saying? And so you're playing
Keep
with
them
your
other
doubles,
ones
trying
back.
to get your original set of all of the teams. And every boy used to do that damn near when we was growing up and had hell of a collection. My boy, he used to put his baseball cards down in the basement, and they still live in that house. But over the years, they've dropped the cars and the
mold and stuff.
Not necessarily mold, but dirt and everything is covering them. I bet you if they dig up enough under there, they'll find some of our cards, man.
Throwback
I don't
cards.
know that they'll be, where you can see them, if they'll be in what shape or whatever. But, bro, we had every guy, man. Every guy. Oh, my goodness. And as a matter of fact,
good old days.
Father used to be on that team. Ken Griffey.
On the
Cincinnati Reds. Yeah.
Same year?
Around that time, he probably played, I'm going to say during that time. Maybe he came a little after, but played with them still. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, during that era, Ken Griffey Sr.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, his son wasn't even, he may have been 3 or 4 years old. But you see what he became, obviously. So his father also, I believe, is a Hall of Famer.
R.I.P. What's my man from Good Times? His last name?
Amos, like famous Amos,
James
the guy
Amos.
with the cookies, Amos.
James
They don't know nothing about
Amos.
famous Amos with the cookies, with the chocolate chip cookie.
No, I know that one.
You know that one?
Come on now.
All right.
Kind of light brown bag type of, not brown, but that kind of beigeish brown bag.
It might have changed its color, but they used to be, I think, white with like blue stripes or something like that. But anyway, people could Google that.
R.I.P. to James
That was
Amos.
a sad story with John Amos, famous Amos the cookie.
R.I.P. Dikembe, man.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Pete Rose. But while we were kind of commemorating these people, giving them their flowers, something came to me, bro.
Gave them their flowers.
While we were talking about this,
pushing up daisies.
Pete Rose, it kind of came to me, but do you know what came to me, man?
What came to you, man?
The good old word of the day.
Word of the day?
And it's short and sweet.
Word
today.
of the day.
Just that word of the day.
Word of the day.
And the word of today.
Ill.
Focal.
And
it's most simply described as in pertaining to the center or the main point of interest.
And you know something about the main thing?
What's that?
When you really are concentrating on the main thing,
mm-hmm.
the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing.
In other words, you got to focus
then
on the focal point.
Then you focalize it, huh?
You got to focus on the focal point?
Focus on the focal point.
You got a sentence? Focal.
No. I want you to bless me with one. I'm going to put it back on you.
Back on me. I'm going to say
focal.
I'm going to say Pete Rose. In the Cincinnati Reds in their heyday, he was a focal point of the team.
I would agree with that. Cincinnati Reds.
That's what
Cincinnati Reds. As a matter of fact, I think Marge Schott or something like that was the owner at that time. And she was the first female owner of a baseball team, I think. If she wasn't, she was close, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But Marge Schott, something like that.
Female owner, no
less. I think she owned them at that time. I know she owned them at some point, but yeah. That's some little trivia that I just got sticking around. You know what I'm saying?
Just right up in that mind now. Hey, Foolie gang, Schoolie gang, don't be fools. If you cool with me, come school with me. It's you in the E, you heard?
Hey, I got to tell these people, man. Yo,
tell them.
My man is probably watching us. Tommy. My man Tommy.
Shout out.
Reached out to me today, man.
Come on, hit the email.
I wanted a t-shirt, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, no problem. I got it coming.
Say less.
Shout out to Tommy.
They coming.
Rodriguez in the house.
Shoot us a pic once that touchdown, man.
One of the oldest friends of mine, over 50 years.
Hey.
So yeah, he's schooling with you, man.
Hey, if he cool with me, come school with me. Hey, go like, comment, subscribe.
It's
OG Lee, it's UNDE, man. We taking us a little chill. We got us some clink clanks today.
Man.
We gonna get a little refill.
Hey, they said
cool
leave
with us.
life green, right?
Come school with us.
Living that green life.
Green bean.
Green
We gonna
life.
be right back.
Countdown.
Man, we are back, baby.
Back up on the
Filled
scene.
up and feeling good. No Diddy, man. Yes,
Full up.
Indeed. To
Full
the brim, you heard?
Up to the brim with brim.
But we started, I was so excited starting episode 40.
Hey, wait.
That
you expecting the schoolies to know the numbers, right? From 1 to 40, and you got them?
I'm learning, bro.
Okay, when we gonna have the test?
40.
We gotta give them a test. When we gonna have a test?
We might have to test next episode.
But we gotta be fair teachers. So you gotta have a pre-test. You know what I'm saying? You have a little pre-test, then you have the real test. And as a matter of fact, have the pre-test and the real test on the same day to give them a good fair advantage.
Oh yeah, you're a good teacher, boy. You gonna have everybody gonna love you. Everybody gonna love you.
And we won't do all 40 on one test.
Break it up.
So should you break it up
half?
and go straight 1 to 20, or should you do random 20 from the 1 to 40 that they've already learned, if they've been paying attention? I'm only giving them about a 20% that they're paying attention, because some of them probably already know the Spanish. They're trying to be slick.
1 through 20, I think.
1 through 20? 20? Okay, 20. Uno a 20.
Por.
I think. Uno a 20. 20.
Por. I think por. Uno.
Por is like 4.
Through? What's through?
Through? I think.
Ah.
Is what I'm saying.
Aquí, come here.
Just here. Aquí is here.
Aquí. Ben aquí is come here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ven acá.
Oh, but we started episode 40
40.
without even giving a little check-in on the mental health.
On the cabeza. On the cabeza.
La cabeza.
Yes, the cabeza.
Sí.
Yes,
señor.
how is your cabeza doing, man? How is your
my
cabeza?
cabeza's doing all right. It could be better as far as situations, you know, like I said. But the morale, bro.
Because you know.
You
got a big cabeza.
Grande
So you got a lot of things on your mind, you know?
Yeah. They've been compartmentalized up, as I've spoke like in previous episodes. But, you know, that moral is muy bueno.
Yeah, that's good, man. Glad you could laugh at yourself, man, because I can. I laugh at myself all the time.
Life is a joke in some ways, you know. You got to see the punchline. Look for
and
the
a
punchline.
lot of times the joke's on us, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They say the joke's on you.
But a face slapper to a knee slapper.
Hey, something I haven't been joking about ever since probably the first episode, and that is saying that we were going to war and that this country is going to war. And I haven't been making light of it. I'm telling you, man. And so we see it full blown now. I think a couple of hours before we got on the air, Iran firing missiles into Israel. And so now that puts the United States in a precarious situation. And so now somehow we might end up backdooring into it. And then who knows from there on the other side with China, Russia. Man, let's just have a fucking showdown and see who's willing to shoot off the nuclear shit, and then see who the fuck's left, and we go from there.
Lord.
Just give a big shakeout in the name of Jesus.
Man, just a
big shakeout. Shake out all the devils.
A big dick show off, huh?
Yeah, and if there's really people who can claim God, they'll be left in the aftermath and they won't be glowing. Huh? We start all over again.
Pompeii, left Pompeii style.
Because this is too much, man. And as I say, it's been building up. And it's breaking people down slowly,
Don't boil
man.
over.
Because once the war comes, man, usually the prices tend to go up. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, if you got your domestic people who are not even caring about that and saying they care about themselves and they trying to get more money, so they going on strike, right? So that in itself, if that blows out, that will be a thing that could make prices go up in itself. Then you couple that with war, you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, man, you're going to have people just I mean, scrambling, man. I'm telling you, because if it gets to the point where you look at it and say, wow, certain supplies are not even getting in now. So what does that cause at the retail stores, right?
Shortage.
Yeah, so
Something
it's interesting to
give.
see what's happening, man. This war is what you call a black swan event. And you just never know what happens to the economy when a black swan event hits. That's what it is.
I got one of those new schools for you. I was listening wholeheartedly, and I'm just as spooked about the country. But things like this come to my mind, right?
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be spooked. I wouldn't be spooked. Just when you know some things are coming, you can prepare. Because one of the things you prepare in now, like, is you save. Because whenever something happens to the economy, all of the assets go down, and that's the chance when you can become an investor in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. And it happens every time. It's just a cycle. Once it comes, you be ready for it. Boom, that's when you invest.
I've got something much more serious to ask you, bro.
I think that's very serious, but go ahead.
No, this is the real deal.
Say
Martian people invade this country. 2 feet tall, half the strength of an average 13-year-old.
Half the strength? That means they're not very strong.
Not the strongest.
Okay.
But they are 2 feet tall. Tiny people. How many of them do you think it would take to take over a grown man?
Is there gonna be females there?
Females what?
Female Martians?
I mean, they'll come to fight. They'll send their men first, typically how other armies fight. But I mean,
but there are some female Martians.
There could be some.
And did they bring any of them with them?
I don't know how they're gonna fight, man.
Who says they want to fight? They just might bring them for morale.
They're invading and they're willing to fight.
Who? The Martians, right?
Yes.
I'm saying, did they bring any Martian bitches?
Millions. They've got millions, man.
Did they bring any with them?
Yeah, they got some Martian bitches.
Okay. Because that's they invading us.
Mm-hmm. They want Earth.
Because that's the first thing that's going to happen is, I mean, Americans are going to get some Martian pussy. That's the first thing, right?
Okay. Mid-war.
No, not mid-war. As soon as we see them. And then, because that's what happens in war.
Immediately? Okay.
That's what happens in war all the time. Immediately, yeah. Whatever you conquer is what you take and do whatever you want with it, right?
Oh, so we're winning. We're winning, you're saying.
What, against the Martians?
Yeah.
Win or lose, you still doing that. They taking some, you taking some, right? Like if you going head to head, right? Mm-hmm. They taking a village, you taking a village, whatever.
No diddy. Yep.
Yeah. So, and they gonna leave some little half Martian, half you know what I'm saying? If they have offspring the same way that we do.
How many of them are taking you, bro? Is the real question.
But I was gonna say
you're always trying to fornicate with the things we find.
Because what
dolphins,
I'm saying is
we
once
go to
that
Mars,
happens, right? Once that happens, the female Martians then start turning turning against them, some of them, and they come on our side, right? So that breaks down their morale, huh? So it might take probably 8 to 10.
Okay, a 10-piece again. That's kind of how I was thinking. Double digits for sure.
Yeah.
Because
if it depends on how they respond to getting shot. Because you're not gonna go to war and be going hand-to-hand combat necessarily with all the shit we got. You shooting people, M16s, right?
They might be a hard shot though. They're kind of smaller. You say
2 feet. 2 feet is good to get a shot in.
Tall, but they're not that big.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have to. You got machine guns. Because you're gonna have to keep them from around your legs and shit like that.
Right, they're coming low, but
they got some strength. What is their strength?
Just in their little arms. They got arms and legs.
But I mean, they got no kind of strength. They don't have no special weapon, none of that. They're Martians, and they came to our place to invade, and they ain't ready.
I don't know what skills they have. They might be able to like dig underground or something like that.
I don't know what the hell that's gonna do. We just, I guess, dig in their own graves and shit. But anyway, I'm gonna just try to be nice to them. I ain't gonna fuck with the Martians. I'm gonna try to be a peacemaker. You know what I'm saying?
They're willing to fight.
I'm gonna be the Jimmy Carter, huh?
They're willing to fight.
But look, because you got to do this now. Everybody will have to agree with me. Mm-hmm. Everybody, most people anyway. You got to. What do they understand our language?
I don't think so. I was thinking about that. I don't think they understand the language.
It might be a little harder then, but we got to introduce them to Jesus.
That always
you
seems
have
to
to
work.
try to save. You gotta try to save some Martians.
That's always
You
that always
know that,
works
and
historically.
see now we're gonna bring some of them over to our side once we proselytize to them and teach them about Jesus. Save them.
Turn into
get
a
some of
mission
that
trip.
Martian money in the cup, huh?
In that collection plate.
But yeah,
Put
man.
in your Martian bucks, no matter where you came from. Hallelujah.
I don't think there's gonna be any Martians before I leave here, so I'm not even really worrying about the Martians. But anyway,
not worried about it. Oh no, I did have a serious one though that I did see come across my socials.
Whoa.
You know, like it do.
What is it, man?
I saw Boosie
Rubber Band. That's where he got that name from.
And I think his oldest daughter,
Boosie.
one of his daughters, there was like some controversy of how she had chosen kind of like the LGBTQ lifestyle.
Oh.
And he was saying in his more old school traditional self, that's not the kind of family I was expecting from my daughter or whatever, and used kind of the diction that he didn't necessarily want her around because that could kind of contaminate her other siblings.
He used that word?
Yeah, he did use the word contaminate.
Mm-hmm.
It was in kind of like an interview, but nonetheless, he did use that in describing the situation.
Well, the thing about it is, from Magic Johnson to Dwayne Wade, those people, man, they get used, and I don't mean that in a negative way. In the way for them, I guess is good because they are real celebrities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once we get the conversation started through these celebrities, bro, it's only gonna normalize it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So here he says something real vile, so to speak, but then he had to apologize, right? So now that's saying,
did he apologize?
I believe from what I heard that he did it publicly even. So what that always makes it seem like is now, okay, they've acquiesced, and so now they're accepting of that, right? And so that's how they put that out for the majority of the people, and they've destroyed black cultures by doing that because that was not in there, and we've never been that kind of people, very, very conservative, but with the media putting that on black people and then using the people who you damn near revered. Mm-hmm. And that's the way they slipped that in there. So now you look at that, and Boosie was, and this is what I was saying, like when we were talking about James Evans and the Good Times standing 10 toes down. He wouldn't do like Boosie. He wouldn't, not that he had a way of any kind of thought about gay people, but whatever he stood on, his, like anybody else, you're not going to change what you feel in like less than a week or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's either you for that or not. So if you felt that way about your daughter, do you mean to tell me that something changed your mind within like an hour, a few hours, a week or something like that? That means you never stood on that anyway. Or maybe them people just had you out there as a pawn like that to get that conversation within black culture. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it is, because really, what better way to usher shit in like that? Use the celebrities. I saw Magic Johnson's son the other day. I'm like, what the hell? You look at Dwayne Wade, but this is the thing. And I look at this and I ask myself, I said, damn, how many white athletes whose kids probably could have turned out like that? Do you see them in the media? You know it's got to be some of them, just based on how many white people it is. Mm-hmm. It's more white people than black people. What athlete have you seen their son and their daughters come out flaming like that? Way, way flaming and shit. That's just to introduce that to black people. And we bought into that shit. And as I'm telling you, brother, there's 3 words that has destroyed the black culture. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me, did it? I was thinking of 3 kind of separate words. It's more of a
Give
phrase.
me one. 3 words that you think have destroyed America, period, if you could think of 3. My 3 are
social media, those would be 2.
Say that again?
Social media.
What about it?
You told me to give you 3 words. I was asking if that would be 2 or 1.
No, social media is 2. I'll give you 2 on that.
Yeah.
But that's one with even less words that has, but it's made America good too, right? We wouldn't be on this platform right now if we didn't have social media. Not that we are good, bad, or indifferent, but it is, help people spread and
Different
spread their
aspects.
creativity. I've seen some real creative people.
I was thinking of my one other word. Honestly, as we were saying that, social media, that would be 2 words. And then
And I thought about that. Don't judge me. Could you imagine saying that to your grandmother or your great grandmother? Don't judge me. Absolutely not. They 10 toes down on what they believe.
Oh, we
right?
judging the shit out.
You've had people, unfortunately, throw their kids out of the house because it's just not what we believe. We can't change that. If they believed it from the Bible, there's nothing changing about that. You know what I'm saying? So to get black people out of that conservative, you had to introduce it through, people who they revere. And again, you have not seen one white person who you said, oh, look, his son, wow, now it's his daughter. They had to have some because they were the first ones doing the shit. So some athlete or some actress or something, you never seen them putting that out there like that.
We don't know. We don't know.
Say it again.
We don't know them folks.
Well, I mean, as far as the media that they own, of course, they get to brainwash us the way that they want to since they run the media, right?
Yeah, we might be paying attention to black media. Nonetheless.
You got some good black media? Because it seems like when you get the black media, or not seems like, what happens is, if that black media is any good, it gets bought up by somebody white. And at that point, the black people who own it are very glad to sell it because they make millions. And then we look at them and say, oh, boy, they're so smart. They, built the network and sold it to the white people for millions. But once they do that, then, of course, we're happy for them, but then the control is back to the very people who you started it to be against, if you will. So yeah, it's a money game, but then you can't blame them because it's like, oh, this is their one time to make that bunch of money to go buy material shit. Fuck the principle of it. Anywho, so what you talking about the cat trade? At first, I thought you was talking about some kittens for real. But you talking about the cat trade.
No, I didn't know how you felt or if you even saw it, but was it out of kind of left field? Cat getting traded from the Timberwolves to the Knicks in exchange for Julius Randle and DiVincenzo.
And a first round pick.
And another
from some other team or whatever.
Who came out on top in that trade, man? That's what I was telling.
I don't know, man. But the only thing that I think about when I think about that is I just think about it being, like I said, trading them like a bunch of damn horses. Because the guy, Edwards, I haven't heard, of course, what he said yet. But it seemed like to me, I'd be like, damn, now I know I'm a good player and I can change my style to deal with any player, hopefully. But him and Cat had a good chemistry to me, man. Yeah, and they came relatively close, right?
Yeah.
But more than that, I thought about my man Randall that was out on the sidelines, you know what I'm saying? He injured, he watching him do good without him. And I'm wondering at the time, is he saying, God damn, man, I know I'm gone. And man, sure enough, they trade the brother.
Happens so quick.
Wow, it does happen in it, but it's like they're like horses, man. It's like, hey, go here. Let's put them together on paper. If it works, boom. Put this together. Make sure the contracts line up. Do all of this horse trading, and they just bouncing them all around,
all over.
And I don't know. It's like you can't be like if I'm a Minnesota fan now, right? I'm like, I thought that them two, especially Edwards and that brother had good chemistry.
Yeah.
And man,
gone the next day. What do you think he'll be a good fit though, Julius Randle?
I think he'll be a decent fit on any team. He plays at a high level. You know what I'm saying? But again, it takes a while to me for teams to get the chemistry back. So no matter what your name is and how good you play, you still, and then you got to deal with the social issues when you put people together, period. He might not vibe with the coaches, assistant coaches, all the people around and on the, that's in the behind the scenes type thing.
They might not have practiced in New York like they do in Minnesota.
Could be that same dedication. He don't have the same dedication. Who knows? It's just
different variables.
Just to see him like that. And then again, it just, to me, which I guess this is life, especially for an athlete, that you're sitting around like on the edge, like, if I ever get, injured, will I get traded? So it's like, wow.
For big old cat, man. That is a crazy one.
And it's not a thing of me not wanting to stay on my game, but it's just a thing of, is there loyalty?
Ain't no loyalty in sports, bruh.
Hey, but we's free. We free. Thank God Almighty, we's free.
No loyalty in sports out here, professional.
So what happened, man? Because I just stopped hearing about those people eating the people's pets, man.
Yeah, that was kind of like a little blip.
They just like stop. You think they stopped eating the pets or they still eating the ducks?
I think the ducks probably got depleted and they moved on maybe to something else.
Now
but
they're actually eating chicken.
That bell ring right there, that's just a good old indication for
my goodness.
Mind crusher.
Mind crusher. I got a real mind crusher after that.
And what we got, we're gonna need one because this is short and sweet today.
Short and sweet.
Titled Sexy or Not Sexy. Magic tricks.
Too sexy for my shirt.
Sexy or not sexy?
You know about that? I'm
too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my
I'm a
So
model.
sexy.
You know what I mean? I do my little thing on the catwalk. On the cat. You don't know nothing about that. But anyway, so what now?
Magic tricks. Sexy or not sexy?
Magic tricks? I haven't seen too many female magicians. So as far as I don't know, I just be looking at them like, okay, they practice some tricks and shit. But anyway, it's not sexy to me because I don't see no female magicians. So it shit ain't sexy. You gotta ask the female.
You said you got a mind crusher over there for me? What you got over there?
No, it's a mind crusher, man, for our generation.
Mine or yours? Ours?
Both.
Okay.
Because what's prevalent is breakups.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, man, in modern day America, it breaks down to economics.
Absolutely.
It comes down to that. And so most people don't go to counseling, before they get married, right? Nobody wants to do that. So that never comes up a lot of times, and that needs to come up so that people discuss that, just like anything you're dealing with, right? Even when we're talking about conflict resolution, the best programs are those that would deal with going through actual scenarios of how you would react when something comes up.
I think it just has to deal with just things becoming, or you would have to realize they're kind of superficial as far as when it comes to, love and different things like that. Like it's
and talk about it as it relates to that, man.
Get some more realistic when you start asking stuff like that.
Because the specifics of it is, nowadays a lot of women make more money than their husbands.
That's how it's going, man.
And so you got to really talk about that, because it's real difficult if you do have a guy who, say for instance, is on the real masculine tip, but his significant other or his wife makes more money than him. In this kind of economy, this capitalism, where everything is based on first money, if she got more strength than you in that way, it's going to be very difficult for her to be that one word which every man likes but says he doesn't like, which is submissive, right? Yeah. So it's a very, and the divorce rates are proving this
through the roof
out, right? To say that, and they're saying that's one of the major issues is the economics, right? So it could start out that y'all start out on the same level, and that doesn't even come into the fray of the thinking. But then at some point, most people know that it could be either way. So that should be something that gets discussed. How are you going to deal with that, right? Are you going to, keep it strong and let that not even be an issue and still say, hey, we stand together, again, 10 toes down? Or are we going to be going along, maybe perhaps being persuaded by, some of your friends or something like that? Oh, girl, he should do this, or he shouldn't do this, or he shouldn't be able to do whatever the shit happens to be. And before you know it, you got that going on, within your environment. And sometimes that happens to be a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's very important now because you're seeing more and more prominent women, and especially in certain cultures. Hey, I don't need a man. You know what I mean?
That's becoming American culture.
Yeah.
Or is it? Is that already American culture?
It is. And that's one of the major issues, which is she's earning more than you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, the American culture
reality
started out one way.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's flipped. Almost,
payback.
Right? And it's not payback, although I hate it because that's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is you have your society at stake, right? Because with the way it's panning out now, you know, with men being in charge, at least you still had a family and a family unit. With the way it's working out now, the family is being destroyed. Where with the woman being in charge and running shit, it's causing contempt from the man, and so you're not even having marriages. You're not even having a lot of women even wanting to have children and a family. So if you saw it the old American way, then you see it as wild. It's totally changing 100%. It's flipping. But if you're growing up during this time, you thinking that's the way it is. Women grow up, they do what they're supposed to do, vocationally, educationally, or whatever. They get them a job, they go on, and maybe in the future, of course, it'll be that they'll have a baby through all of the artificial sperm being shot in them and all this kind of shit. And they'll live happily ever after. Just
times are changing, man.
With a robot, because of course they'll have a robot, so they can have a robot or whatever. And the man, the same thing. He won't really want to go to to the whole thing of marriage and all of that.
Oh, you leave your mind
with
changing
some
being around all
woman
this
that
new
tells
school,
him.
huh?
What did she tell him? Like I told you, my drill sergeant used to tell people.
Which part?
Go sit down.
Sit down.
She gonna tell you that, right? When you got anything to say about it, go sit down.
Go
Nigga, you
down.
don't make no money. How you gonna tell me to do something in my house?
Oh.
I pay the mortgage in here.
OG Lee out here promoting a robotic society.
I pay the mortgage in here. How you deal with that shit like that though? Because like that, it just happened to come up. Before that, everything in your relationship might have been all nicey. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden she come out like that. I pay. It's like, oh shit, what's up with that?
Mm-hmm. Should be switching up, man.
But it's killing shit, man. It's killing shit. It really is, man. It really is breaking up families and fucking up our society.
And it's a
it really.
But hey,
is.
last episode, you talking about how you can see how the LGBTQ push could kind of get implemented with the platonic heterosexual relationships.
LGBTQIA, don't
IA,
okay.
Respectfully. Last episode, this episode, you talking about kind of the breakdown of the family unit, almost a robotic society being normalized.
Yeah.
Oh,
you got to fight against it. That man, this is another point that I'm making when I talk about people believing in something. If they're about it, they stand on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you see, for instance, in North Carolina, there's a strike, longshoremen and all that, right? They want to make more money. They already make good, but they want to make more, right? So
did you get that video?
So that's good, right? With the longshoremen and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the main things, and some people are queuing into this, but one of the main things that they want is to fight against automation, bringing automation to the docks. Very important.
I got a little lost. Who's fighting against the automation?
The longshoremen, the people who are doing the protesting. The protesting, well, they're wanting to make more money, of course, and this is going to be factored in over the next 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
They want to go from like an average of 100,000 to 177,000 over 6 years. So anybody would say that's fair, even though I think they should show what they do, because I don't know what as they say, a longshoreman does.
I'm still.
But anyway, you give them the raises, the money. But like I said, they also, more importantly, want to fight against automation at the docks, meaning them being replaced by automation, them being replaced by different robots and shit like that that could do whatever and be more efficient.
All right,
so that's
my
important to know that.
What is a longshoreman?
Man, all I know is that
context.
Just longshoremen are the people who work at the docks, and we've got them different places throughout the country, and they facilitate the stuff getting from off of the ships onto land and where it needs to go. Right?
Kind of like hauls of different, like the shipping containers, that type of
those
thing?
shipping type of containers, and whatever way, other ways they come in. I'm sure things come in other ways too.
They know people that
but anyway,
cocaine.
they're on the ground, coordinating that, facilitating all that, making sure that thing gets to its next point to get going where it needs to go within the states. So I'm sure they got a real integral and important job. I just don't know literally, but they get paid handsomely from what I've always seen and heard. And what they want to get paid over the next 6 years, I guess, would be fair. I don't know. But the main thing is very important to realize what they're saying is, hey, to preserve our jobs, we want to fight, and we have to fight against automation. So I'm saying that in response to you talking about the automation being normalized. You still got a bunch of people that's fighting against it because they know them motherfucking robots going to take our good jobs.
Them robots gonna take the jobs. Did you get that?
Whatever it is,
video that I sent you though.
Whatever it happened to be.
The bike one, yeah, man. Look, we gonna give these people a little something.
What it is?
I've been thinking we need to start getting on a little late night bike ride. Maybe we're bike ride post, work, wind down at the end of the day.
Man, I'm gonna get on a bike ride as long as it's out, and it's light. This late night bike riding shit, I'm not gonna be doing that in this neighborhood. I can tell you that right now. Nothing late night where I ain't, good to go. You know what I'm saying? Because people be tripping, man.
Maybe that might even help us out in this video we got here, man. It might be best not to ride at night.
I used to walk, right? This perimeter going from Chico down Yorkwood up here, up this Mableville cutoff, right? One day I'm walking there, and when I look at that now, damn, I can't believe I used to walk all that shit every day. But it was Halloween, and I wasn't tripping. I'm doing my walk, right? And I heard somebody said, "Hey!" And I looked up, and before I could even make a move, here was a guy coming out the car. At first, I didn't know how he was coming, but once I saw him get there out the car, he had an egg. But I still was kind of like this, and it felt like it egged me, and it just got me solidly right in my chest.
You thought you got?
And at first I did, because I went down, I was like, because I think about it being an egg really in hindsight. When he came out, and boom, all of a sudden, I didn't really know what. But going through it, I remember I seen like something white or whatever. But once it hit me, I was like, oh, and I looked, yolk and shit. Like, damn. And that's how I got, man. I'm like, if that would have been somebody tripping with the drive-by, I got, man. I was just like, boom, nothing I could do. They just caught me. And they was on the same side of the road. It was going against traffic. You know what I'm saying? Or I was walking against traffic. And once it hit me, boom, they just sped out. I was like, oh, shit. But I just went down, and it was a good hit. You know what I'm saying? Because it was an egg. It caught me. I guess it was really only maybe 10 feet away or something like that. I was walking, and the guy just came out the side of the car, out the window.
They were
and caught me, man. I was like, damn. And really, that just really fucked me up from walking. I did it a few more times, and then I was like, man, if I walk, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta be strapped now walking and shit. So I'm like, man, this is fucked up.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
But yeah, these bike rides, man, you got to watch out for things like this. I just saw this. Skool gang,
goodness.
Y'all watch out for stuff like this right here, man.
Holy moly, that's got to hurt.
YouTube, don't ban me here. But just check this out.
What we got here?
Oh, he hit a little rut in the dirt, I thought.
Oh, my
check
goodness. Was that a little rut he hit that you was talking about?
Look at him.
My foot is done.
Oh, shit.
Long stick on the side of the road.
Shit. Yo.
Fresh through. This little one right here. He's on a motorbike, but kind of hits like a boom right there. Oh, dang.
Yo. This is a crazy coincidence. Because you know how I think, right? Or either you don't know. But anyway, we was saying rest in peace, right? To who? My man, James Amos.
Yeah.
He played Kunta Kinte in Roots, which was one of his more famous roles, right? And do you know what happened to Kunta Kinte when he tried to run away? What them white folks did? They cut off his foot like that.
Chopped it off.
They cut his foot off like that.
You think he's gonna have to get it chopped off though?
It's off already. They gotta find it.
No.
By the time, what if when they went to look for it, you had some wild animal?
His whole foot is still there.
His whole foot is still there?
It's just impaled with a whole just log, bro.
I must have saw the wrong thing. I thought I saw a clean break where the foot was off.
No, foot is just has a stick straight through it. Still sticking from.
No, if his foot hit something going that direction, going in the opposite direction,
I'm telling you, and it
that
went straight
wouldn't have
through.
moved.
It went straight
and
through.
Came off.
It didn't come off. The whole stick is still in his foot. Look.
Let me see this.
Entire stick is in his foot.
Oh, you know what? I'm now seeing that the way it is. Yeah. See, I'm one of them niggas that need the slow-mo right there, but I see that now.
Yeah, and Paul just kind of stuck. Okay. It didn't go all the way through.
So that depending on when he might lose a toe or something maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But you could cut that. First of all, that's the first thing that he's going to do, I hope. Just cut it so he ain't got to be dragging around that big-ass piece. And then it's impaled through there. They'll be able to separate that. He might have some nerve damage and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, where is he at anyway, man? Why people always going all off road up in the woods?
What a crazy
shit
stick
like
to
that,
find, man.
Trying to look for bears and all that shit, man.
Hey,
damn.
He
gonna
OG Lee.
Yes.
It's UNDE.
Yeah, he lost his foot like
OSNS.
Rest in peace, John Amos.
Old school,
Rest in
new
peace,
school.
Man. Dikembe Mutombo.
Episode 40.
Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, man.
Shout out Tommy,
Rest
man.
in peace. Yo, Pete,
the merch
Pete,
is in route.
You going in the Hall of Fame, Pete.
Come
in the Hall of Fame, Pete.
OG Lee.
Yo, everybody,
school,
write to the Hall of Fame
OG
Commission
Lee.
and tell them.
OSNS.
Write to Roger Sillig or whoever the baseball commissioner
Schoolie
is.
gang.
Yo, Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
If you cool with me, come school with me.
Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
OG Lee.
Subscribe.
UNDE.
Subscribe.
We out.
Ah.